To meet Paris Agreement goal of 1.5 degree, the organizations and countries contribute at different level through voluntary and compliance targets. Various market and non-market mechanisms support the organizations and countries in their contributions to Paris Agreement goal. These mechanisms are great instruments in the hands of the countries to meet their commitments, but while the framework for mechanism exists, implementation remains limited. Each mechanism has its own challenges. For example, the cooperative approaches under Article 6.2 of Paris Agreement requires countries to develop institutional capacity and interoperable carbon registries. Countries around the world are still exploring how to operate Article 6.2 in a practical, credible, and scalable manner. And this gap between framework and execution is where interoperable carbon market infrastructure comes in to ensure that sovereignty principle of Article 6.2 remains central to any solution. Countries must retain full decision-making authority while leveraging internationally aligned digital infrastructure. Countries continue to face limitations in institutional capacity, technical expertise, and comprehensive digital infrastructure required to support cooperative approaches under Article 6.2. Regulatory pathways for authorizing and managing EATMO transactions are still evolving, and many countries are trying to understand how to build systems capable of supporting authorization, issuance, transfers, corresponding adjustments, accounting, and reporting. Developing an interoperable carbon market infrastructure from the ground can be technically complex, time-consuming, and resource-intensive. And in a rapidly evolving global carbon market, delays come at a cost. Today, more than ever before, countries should be able to work with national and credible international standards to operationalize compliance and voluntary carbon markets of domestic and international nature. This includes Article 6.2, Article 6.4, CORSIA, and future carbon market mechanisms under one interoperable ecosystem. There are two global important survey of DNA results show that national registry was one of the top 3 priorities identified. The countries have also talked about interoperability requirements, desires of additional functionality showing the importance of national registry in operationalizing carbon markets. What countries need today is not only a registry, they need a complete carbon market infrastructure wherein the credible independent standards of the world can work in partnership with the countries. A system capable of integrating certification and methodology support, project approval workflows, issuance and credit management, transaction tracking, accounting and reconciliation, and UNFCCC-aligned reporting, all within one interoperable ecosystem, and importantly, a system that can be deployed quickly and adapted to national priorities and market evolution. An integrated carbon market infrastructure consists of 3 important modules. The first module is the Project Registration Module. The second is GHG Program Carbon Registry Module, and the third is the National Registry Module. All the credible independent carbon standards of and the national carbon standards can work together in operationalizing carbon market infrastructure. In here, the carbon standards of the world work in partnership with the countries where the project shall be evaluated. Recommendation will be made to the country, and the country can go ahead and approve the projects as well as the issuances and the transfers. Under this, they can also do national methodologies. The letter of authorization approval, the payment gateways, and the BTR reporting and corresponding adjustments are all a part of this. Let us now take a closer look at how Article 6.2 can operate under the carbon market infrastructure. The process begins where host country can approve independent GHG program or national GHG program it wants to work with and create a separate certification path belonging to each GHG program under its national registry. Next, the host country can add new cooperative approach as per the UNFCCC process. The host country can receive the Mitigation Activity Idea Note as an initial application for project. Once application is approved, based on the certification path notified in the application, the project developer then submits the project to the national or independent carbon standard recognized by the country. The recommendation from the standard body on approval of project is received by country focal point based on which project is approved or rejected by the country. Once projects are approved, implemented, and monitored, issuance requests are submitted and evaluated under the carbon standard recognized by the country. Governments issues authorization letter at any point of time from the application submission to first transfer of the mitigation outcomes, and the letter is uploaded on national registry that is the part of CMI system. These EATMOs can then be transferred to acquiring countries or private buyers, triggering the application and reporting of corresponding adjustments in a transparent way. All transactions, authorizations, and adjustments are captured through structured Article 6 reporting aligned with UNFCCC frameworks. CMI provides countries with a complete operational ecosystem. Countries can launch dedicated national registry portals under their own domain and branding. They can track EATMOs in real time, generate Article 6 reports instantly, receive real-time notifications, manage accounting workflows, and integrate payment gateways aligned with national benefit-sharing mechanisms. The platform also supports methodology adaptation and development, aligned with national priorities and NDC objectives. One of the biggest advantages of the CMI is speed. Countries do not need to spend years designing and building systems from scratch. They can deploy quickly and begin engaging with international carbon markets with confidence. The CMI also supports acquiring country participation under Article 6.2. Developed countries facing higher abatement costs can transparently source mitigation outcomes from developing countries through interoperable registry systems. Projects are registered and credits issued through GCC's internationally aligned framework, while both buyer and seller countries maintain sovereign control through their national registries. EATMOs are transferred, corresponding adjustments are applied, and retirement reporting is transparently communicated under UNFCCC-aligned processes. This creates a seamless, high-integrity market ecosystem capable of unlocking strong international buying capacity while ensuring full transparency and sovereign control. This approach is already gaining traction globally. GCC is working with West African countries including Mali, Niger, Mauritania, and Burkina Faso on deployment and operationalization of the carbon market infrastructure. GCC has also signed cooperation agreements with the League of Arab States covering 22 countries for capacity building on Article 6.2. Partnerships have also been established with Indonesia, Singapore, East African countries, and several other international stakeholders. Singapore has recognized GCC credits for carbon tax obligation purposes. These engagements demonstrate growing international confidence in interoperable and implementation-ready carbon market infrastructure. The question for countries today is no longer whether to engage with Article 6.2. The real question is how to operationalize it effectively, credibly, and at scale. With GCC's carbon market infrastructure, countries have a one-point solution to design, deploy, and operationalize Article 6.2 while maintaining full control, transparency, and alignment with international frameworks. Article 6.2 is not just a framework, it is a gateway to the future carbon economy, and CMI is how countries can unlock it. Thank you.